Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Kieran.
Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, I'm going to be replacing those fish rulers that are on our kayak paddles, the ones we used all season. They were looking pretty torn and beat up, and we couldn't even measure the fish in that tournament because Kieran's were in pretty rough shape. And so we got a new product off of Amazon, and I'm going to do a review and install of those today. Before we get to that though, you might be noticing that we have a couple of different shirts, and there's a few different reasons for that. So from my end, if you've been watching, you know that my shirt was looking pretty old and faded, and so it was time for a new one. And so I got the same one that I had before, but this guy is supporting a different one right now. And why is that?
Yeah, so since I won the championship at Eleanor Lake, I decided to get a shirt. You can see here, Champion 2020. Yeah, so I'm probably going to be wearing this one for the next couple of episodes.
Okay, let's be real. You're probably going to be wearing that thing all of next season until at least we get to the tournament.
Yeah, that's probably right.
All right. So he's got his shirt, but there is one thing missing. I did make a promise to this guy, and so I also want to make sure that I provide him with this. This is the trophy for winning this year's tournament, and so here we go.
Pretty nice trophy.
All right. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
I'm going to steal that from you next year.
Uh-huh.
All right,
Sure.
so let's get on with today's episode. All right, everybody, so as I said, on today's episode, we are replacing the stickers on our kayak paddles, the fish rulers that we use to measure our fish. As you can see by this one, they are pretty beat up, and they need to be replaced. Some of the sections are missing, and we've got some of the numbers that are actually faded. So what we've done is we found a new product on Amazon, and I'll show you what that is and the install, and then give you my thoughts afterwards. So before we get to that step, the next thing I got to do is remove these old stickers, and I will get to that now. What I got to do is get off all the old sections, make sure that it's relatively clean. If there's any of the adhesive residue left over, I might have to use some oil to get that off. So if I do, I'll show you how I get that done, and then we'll move on to the review of the product and install. So let's get to it. So this is the product that we're going to be using. It's a Quik Measure Pro, made in the USA, if that matters to anybody. And these are 36 inches long. So if we catch a fish bigger than that, which Kieran finally did this year, we'll have to figure out another way to measure it. But that's about right for the paddles, and it's actually what we had on there before. We're 36-inch rulers. So it only is in inches, so we're going to have to go with inch measurements from now on, and there are ticks in between for the half-inch. So what comes in here? If we open up the package, there's a number of different things. There's a business card. There is some alcohol wipes, and so these are used to prep the surface before putting on the stickers. And then we've got the stickers themselves. It's a 2-pack, which is perfect. And basically, you just cut this down and peel it off and stick it on. It was actually tricky to find fish rulers for our paddles because our paddles are black, and we needed something that was going to stand out on a black background. These ones are actually designed in white, and so they will show up rather well on our kayaks. They're also very narrow, which is perfect because we actually want to be able to have something narrower that's not going to rub off as easily on our paddles. And so what I'm going to do is follow the directions, cut these in half so that there's 2 of them, peel them and stick them on. So I will also tell you the directions for how these are used. All right, everybody, so what I've done is I've taken off the old stickers, and what you can probably see here is that these are still quite tacky. A lot of the adhesive from the old stickers is still on here. I was hoping that I might be able to get them a little cleaner and not have to worry about the old adhesive, but this has got to come off because the new stickers, they need to adhere to a clean surface, and also the new stickers are a lot narrower than the ones that we had on here before, so our hands would be constantly sticking to these paddles, as you can see. So I need to get this off. There's a lot of products out there that get sticky adhesive off of things. One of the best ones that I know is actually essential oils. So I will show you how we do that with an essential oil that my wife uses in our house. All right, everybody, so it's time to get the old adhesive off here so that we got a clean surface to work from. And as I mentioned, what I'm going to use is essential oil. My wife has these. She uses them for a variety of different things. This one is a grapefruit essential oil. This one is a lemon essential oil. Doesn't really matter as long as it's a citrus essential oil. And what you do is you basically put that essential oil and rub it all over the area that you have adhesive. Let it sit a little bit, and that adhesive will come right off. So, as I said, we're just going to dab some of this essential oil on here, rub it in. Now, one thing about this is, because it's an oil, it's going to obviously leave oil on the surface, which I need to remove before I put on the new adhesive sticker. And so once I get the old adhesive off, I'm going to basically, as I said, let this soften, wipe it off, make sure it's clean, and then I'm going to have to use soap and some water to basically get off all of the oil, and then use the alcohol prep swabs that came with the Quik Measure Pro before I put the new stickers on. Now, just in that little amount of time, hopefully what you can see, and I'm not sure if it'll pick up on the camera, is all of that adhesive is already coming off. So it's broken it down, and just like that, there we go. I can already wipe off all of that old adhesive that was on there with a cloth, and then I'll wash it down with some soap and water. Really effective. I will hold this up. Hopefully you can see that's all coming off there. Really good, really easy. And I'll be able to remove all the old sticky material. So works really well. So if you don't have anything like Gooby Gone or any of those other products that get rid of old adhesive, just good old essential oils. All right, everyone, so I covered the areas on the kayak paddles that had adhesive on them with the essential oils. Let it sit for a little while, then I took them inside and I washed them with soapy water. I had to wash them with soapy water a couple of times just to get all the adhesive off, but hopefully you can see now the adhesive is off of these handles. I can touch them now, there's nothing sticky there, and so it worked pretty well. The next step is to use these alcohol pads that came along with the kit and just wipe them down one more time just to make sure that there's no oil, and to prepare them to put the stickers on. So I'll do that next. All right, everybody, so the next step is to install the stickers. It says on here to cut them in half. There's 2 stickers here, and to cut down the dotted line. Now, since I'm using both these stickers and they're already removable, I'm not sure if I need to do that, but I am going to follow the instructions. So I am going to carefully cut these in half, but I don't think you'd need to if you're installing both of them at the same time, because I think you could just peel them right off this backing. So that's next, and then I'll start to install. All right, everyone, so the recommended way that you're supposed to install the sticker is to start from one end and work your way up. The challenge for me is that I need to get this sticker centered right at that 18-inch mark at the middle of the paddle, and so I actually have to remove the entire sticker from the backing, which makes this a little bit more challenging, but the sticker itself is narrow enough that I think I can get it on there without too much trouble. So that's what I'm going to do next, is basically try to install the entire thing at once. Make sure, a trick here is to make sure that you, almost got caught up on my other paddle, which was what I was about to say, is make sure that you don't get it stuck to anything else. So it's somewhat funny that I did that. So I want to get this right at the 18 mark in the center of the paddle, and then push it down a little bit at the top here, and then I can install the entire sticker. So super easy, actually. Pretty easy to work with. I've got that one on there, and I will get to the camera and show you how that looks. So there we go, everyone. Both stickers are installed. Hopefully you can see I've got those right at the 18-inch mark. And as I said before, the nice thing about these is they've got white numbers, so they show up really well on our kayak paddle. The only thing I have to do right now is to take my scalpel here and cut this right at the 18-inch mark so that I can separate the paddles. So there we go. Push that down, and I can now separate the kayak paddle into two parts, which is fantastic. I can tell you they look really good. Much smaller than the previous ones, so they shouldn't fray as much. And we can use the kayak clip on the other side of the paddles so that it'll avoid this sticker and avoid tearing it in the future. So I have to say I like these a lot better than the ones I had on here previously. I do wish that they went further than 36 inches for when you do catch that big one, but we can always use both our paddles if we get in one of those situations again to measure a bigger fish. So all right, everybody, so the last step of installation that they recommend is you use a hair dryer to basically heat up the strip and get out any air bubbles that are in there. I don't see any, but I'm going to do it anyway, just light heat and then push it down further. And then it says you should let this dry for 24 hours. So obviously the adhesive takes some time to cure. So that'll be it. I'm going to put on a little bit of heat and then we'll call this one done. All right, everyone, here is the final product on our paddle handles. As you can see, the white numbers show up pretty good on the black background of the kayak handles. What I did was I brought them inside and used a hair dryer just to heat up the stickers and get out any air bubbles. I didn't think there were very many, but there were actually some in there, so I would definitely recommend following that step. And here's the final product information. The Quik Measure Pro 36-inch fishing rod measuring decals. All right, everyone, that's the install of the Quik Measure Pro fish ruler on our kayak paddles. Quick review, I like them a lot, really easy to install. The white numbering shows up really well on the black background of the kayak paddles. And that narrow sticker should hopefully last a little bit longer. They're actually designed to be installed on fishing rods, so if that's something you're interested in, I will put a link to the product in the show notes below. So hope you enjoyed it. On behalf of Kieran, if you liked the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, good fishing.